Greetings. Thank you for joining us. Okay, yeah, my background officially fell down. So it might be the humidity in here. Has something to do with it. Uh, yeah, the cats are a little bit disappointed. No, they did not fall down, but they didn't help it. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I don't put, I use, I don't nail it into the wall because I don't want to do that, but I'll have to come up with some other idea. So I'll have to have the background and change colors. Um, we're not going to do that, but we could. So we can do a psychedelic, but the cats seem to like that. I'm not going to do that though. Breathe. Maybe I'll leave it at that. Of course, she's tuckered out back there, Fritzy. We could try this something a little bit different. It's not new. But the background is pretty much dead. I can't get it back up. So she's on the prowl, it seems. We'll put it on a kind of a bluish color for right now. Somebody's doing something. She wants to know what's going on there. So yeah, it's funny. Ready for the attack. Yeah, she's definitely getting big. All right, so this is about Houston. I finally am going to go into that. The ritual. Boy, is it obvious. Couldn't it be more obvious? The Manchurian candidate for a Delta Force connection there. Manchurian candidate is basically, they say a certain word and somebody becomes a killer. I felt a lot of Delta Force energy. Of course, you don't hear about Delta Force very often in the real world or the conversation world. What is she doing? What are you doing? Just waiting for some action. So, ready for going on. She's always on play mode. Yeah, 33 Thomas Street. Just found out about that. It's kind of like a surveillance building. And we have Lyra Constellation. So it's a little bit different. Yeah, the background's a little weird. Yeah, I have to get used to it or do something for the background or what. I'll figure out something eventually. I have a couple ideas. As I'm telling the economy of price sessions. Yeah, the shop here. I think I'm like not a month. I think I'm finally getting into November. I'm not there yet. Same situation here. You can create membership. You can post your listing if you like. Of course, you have to sign up to see it. I guess I can make it public. Oh no, this is public. Yeah. So, and webinar sign up, social network behind the scenes. And on with the show. If you're Rishies. Yeah, this isn't a ritual. It just looks like one. I mean, what the hell? I mean, I think it's a music video. Or maybe not. Kind of so creepy. Yeah, it has such a good energy around it. Nothing satanic about this. Yeah, it's definitely some kind of satanic or trying to get better. I know this looks good. I'm not sure if that's what really looked. Is that really there? If that's real, I guess it is. God, can you be more obvious? Is that 2019? Jeez. And Houston, has a lot of elite energies there. I can't look at that anymore. Yeah, it has a lot of elitists. So yeah, it feels like they try to get everyone's attention. It's like a diversion. I also feel CIA energy there. I don't know why. I guess it's manipulating society. They need to put stuff into the news. They need to do stuff to keep people part of whatever this is, the Matrix. So they have to come up with it all. So I believe that was done on purpose, obviously, right? I don't know how they did it on purpose, but they did it on purpose. So it was built to fail. So not that they have all the details connected to it, but it was basically built to cause chaos. So, and the rapper there, I think he was been artificially made popular. I haven't listened to his music. I'm not interested in that, but obviously it's part of the ritual process that made him to what he is today. He does have some Eminem energy there too. No surprise there. The main act, I don't know. I'm not going to go into that. So yeah, Eminem, he's doing well. Was like a clone, but whatever. So yeah, weaponized. Yeah, it's not the best energy, of course. Far from it. So yeah, we're going into. Yeah, I mean, also I feel Rockefeller energy there. I guess money that's funding it. Of course, there's other families, but Rockefeller energies always finds its way around. So that's another one. Jeez. Just they want, yeah. I guess you can say, not that they do this, a sacrifice a day or every month, which isn't funny, but it's like a sacrifice every. They don't do it every day. Well, I guess they do quietly, but this is, yeah. When they do it publicly, it's a whole different story. Obviously, I mean, this is the life, the movie, and they interfere with people's lives and all that. So it's when you're interfering with the movie life, our real lives. They get a high off of it. Of course, those that are causing the manipulation. So lovely. I guess humanity will figure that out one day, or not. Hopefully, one day they'll figure out how they're being screwed over. But if they don't want to find out, no big deal. No one's pressuring you to do anything. Oh yeah, the Manchurian candidate. I forgot about that. Yeah, I felt. So of course, the Delta Force energy is. The Delta Force basically is, for black ops and killing people that we'll never hear about. And a lot of it does feel like it's underground, obviously. Also, they do work with other presidents around the world. Yeah, it's definitely an elite team, but they have their own agenda. And they don't always answer to government officials, meaning I feel like Delta Force is kind of high up in the echelon. Not that anybody's really connecting to it that much, but in case you are connecting to it, yeah, they do. Jeez, I guess one day they're going to shut down their energy because I can pick up quite a bit from them. Well, it feels like they Delta Force replaces people somehow with a decoy or a dummy or somebody that's not that person. That they take a person, they replace it with somebody else. Not that it's a clone or anything, but they some kind of Mission Impossible type of thing. I don't know. At least that's the vibe I got there. I don't know. I can't confirm anything. Can't confirm anything on any of this. But then again, if you research Delta Force, you can see it's kind of a kill group. And what does the Manchurian candidate do? Kill people? They just say a couple words and the person turns into somebody else and goes and assassinates somebody. That's pretty much Delta Force. I was kind of surprised to feel Delta Force there, but seems pretty powerful. So course, you'll never hear about it publicly, but it is something that has to be healed. As we go into this new Earth energy, maybe what is his name? Eckhart Tolle might talk about Delta Force one day. That would be different. Or one of these others that are pretty big. Yeah, I could look with that. But you never know. It would be in his next book. Yeah, give Delta Force a big hug. Well, the more that you're aware of these groups, like you can tap into it, you're heightening your vibration. That doesn't mean as you tap into them, just, like that's all you tap into. But as we heighten our energies, these covert groups can't hide anymore. They can't do these secret wars and stuff like that too. But we have a while. I'm not sure how long, but we have a while. But the Manchurian can't pronounce that right. Yeah, I believe it was based off a book. But basically MK Ultra, and obviously it's very real. Obviously, you see it in the media, you see it, and Hollywood does versions of it. So it's something that is so relevant today, but they do it much differently. I believe they do. Those people that they program, they do kind of saw into their brain somehow. Jeez. And put an implant. I'm not sure if Delta Force they do that with, but they kind of, I feel like they do give them drugs. Delta Force, they give them drugs, or some of these elite Black Ops groups, they give them drugs to heighten their energies. But with that heightening, they get brainwashed at the same time. And they go on this covert operations. So, lovely. That's all we want to hear today. Yeah. So 13th, Thomas Street. I imagine nobody knows about this. I never heard about it until recently. There's no way to prove anything. We'll go back to Satanic Island. Satanic Square. Yeah, that looks like barrels of laughs, but whatever. So it's this building. It's in New York City. You can look up 13 or 33 Thomas Street. And it's basically building with no windows. That doesn't look unsuspicious at all. Everything looks fine there. So that's definitely I think it's an NSA surveillance building. Yeah, but it's not surveilling just New York. They're surveilling a lot of other places. It is kind of a bomb shelter for the elites also, at least one of them. There's definitely a shadow government energy. Like nice Archon, shadow government, nice and friendly. Imagine you knock on the door, they give you a big hug. Or you keep talking about it, you disappear, one of the two. I don't believe it's owned by AT&T anymore. I forgot who owns it, but either way, it looks like a nice, creepy, Archon staple of New York. Imagine New York's very appreciated to have, the Illuminati have one of their, well, obviously they have a lot of their buildings there, but yeah, it's kind of creepy. I can't imagine it doing anything illegal there. Like maybe the Joe Biden clone is there. Who knows? Maybe knock on the door and ask them. I imagine they're happy to answer. So, yeah, it's weird not having the background up anymore or something. Just blue. I guess I have to get used to it. I'll try to find something for the background. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Now we're in psychedelic mode. Maybe I'll change it. I can't find a background I like. There's a colorful Racine sunset. Sunset's kind of boring. But all these other ones are kind of uninteresting either. Sunrise. I guess I'll leave it at that. Yeah. Boring. All right, it was more interesting having the sun behind me, having a cultic sun behind me. peacock things poking on porcupine things poking out of my head. So anyway, going to Lyra. So going to the Houston thing first. The yeah, the Delta Force thing. I guess we can go into some of that. Mind control energy, a little bit, and Lyra at the last. Or maybe I should just channel the Palladians every day. That seems to be what people want. And then we can all go insane together. It's like it's a little bit overkill, but whatever works, right? Whatever the algorithm wants. Jeez, ridiculous. Yeah, love the world we live in. Okay, so here we go. All right, blessings. Houston consciousness. Not that. Yeah, Houston's really kind of shady. Never been there, but it feels shady. It doesn't feel. Yeah, it has a mega church there. It's just not exactly the most welcoming energies. Of course, they have the little satanic rituals that go on there publicly. People don't seem to have a problem with it. That's cool. It's ours. It's whatever. So anyway, all right. Blessings. Okay, we're going to Houston Energy. All right. It might be the Palladians that come through for this. So, all right, blessings. Greetings, the Palladians. Yes, greetings to you. Your Houston, yes, ritual, yes, is planned. Of course, many months or years, but many months of what occurred there. Well, they had to have some kind of disturbance. Now, did they realize it was going to go into the level that it did? No. But it is a form of a ritual. Now, others get hurt and people are suing. Obviously, it's a ritual that expands itself. It goes into a place that they were not expecting a lot of times. Now, was this planned? Well, there's always a reality, an astral reality that knows exactly how this will play out. They might not always know exactly the event, but they do spark what happens. So the Houston frequency, yes, is there to poison more of humanity's energy, turn people against each other, cause heartache, loss of life, love, energies, damage. They just want to they don't want to give humans a break. Yes, these musicians are a part of it. Yes, are a part of maybe not the most healthiest vibration you could say. To go on to the candidate, the Manchurian candidate, brainwashing basically by your government, by your CI, mostly around the 50s. I believe it was sooner, but I feel like the 50s is where they perfected much of it. That's what they learned from the Nazis. Of course, they're very hesitant to use it, especially when it happens on themselves, because they've ever used it and it end up affecting them. I mean, the doctors that perform these type of events end up getting themselves killed eventually. So you have to be a little bit more careful. Well, it's like kill DNA that they put in, that they've perfected. You can say not completely, but eventually your society will become more aware of it. But yes, your coverts, Delta forces, a lot of that. Humans are still having trouble believing in these things. Of course, they're not seeing because obviously the manipulation around reality is pretty heavy at this time. Well, it's just to keep humans in a state of panic and worry. They don't want humans to be okay with themselves because that's when the frequencies begin to shift. They want the soup of different energies, but they want to control it. And right now they want people to feel frustrated about themselves. But if you calm your frustrations and bring a new energy around you, you'd be surprised what you accomplish. Doesn't mean you accomplish everything. But what is happening now on your planet, yes, is there to wipe the brain of happiness and to inject fear constantly. This is nothing many of you have heard before, but it is a constant deluge on your planet. Is there to keep you from yourself, from your higher self. But that's the journey here. You might be connecting more to your higher self and believing, but how many others are? And others are using it, maybe not always for the most positive. Sometimes they use it to manipulate others. So there's a lot of details within your Earth's energy that has not been fully discovered at this time. And so much more. Yes, we'll go in more to our civilizations and people. The time is right when it's necessary. So blessings. Greetings. We are the Lyra beings from Lyra. Feline frequencies, yes. We are learning what we cannot learn from our civilizations. As our society has been built up, well, many feline societies have been built up to be prestigious, be, in charge. Your world has that too, but of course it has corruption written all over it at the same time. Meaning that our worlds as feline beings, not all of them, but some can see corruption a mile away, as many of you can. But to stop it's a little bit more difficult. As a feline being, we can feel what day it's going to happen, what week, when we are ready ourselves to fight a battle. Can you imagine that? You tap into the spirit realms, and you're getting download of what you need to do here. Of course, you've heard it before, but for us, it's a little bit more useful. In your reality, you get bits and pieces and all that. But also, we get cheats. I mean, we see the future more clearly than you do. So, if we see the future clearly than you do, we don't have to go to the test that you go through either. So, sometimes some beings misstep and lose themselves. Some can get drunk or high on something, and the vibration of the planet can shift. Maybe not entirely, but like you're on our world, and all of a sudden there's a strange weather system that none of us tapped into before it came. I mean, it just sort of showed up. That shows you someone in your collective is going through a manipulative state. Some of you might look at the sky a little bit differently, possibly. Now, this is going to affect many of you over time, but some of you might be able to feel it out and see what you want to be here. As feline beings, once again, we don't always learn what we can't learn what we learn here on our planets. We have our world pretty much set up worlds where we don't have to go through this type of turmoil. There are many other worlds, of course, that are offshoots that even where there are some planets that do have difficulties, but still nothing like this. Well, this was, it sucks the life out of some of you. And putting it back in is a little bit more difficult. Well, it's like hope. Some of you just lose hope with this planet altogether. Some of you are just had all these different lifetimes. Like, yes, as a canine being, a feline being, or an insect being, incarnating human is like, why am I have what is this? Like, what is this creation? Especially if you're an insect. Insects have usually the hardest problems of being human. And you'd be surprised how many insect beings are parents. A lot of them are females that had kids. And they're still trying to figure out what it is to be human. Well, yeah, they're on the journey of living the human path. The journey, as you call it, is incarnate, have a relationship, maybe have kids, maybe not, it doesn't matter. Cook dinner, do these little things, what you as an alien being would never, ever do. And we'll have alien humans, Palladians, Syrians, don't do those things either. So this world's kind of alienated other planets, but other species, but you are learning. You're doing all this for a reason. In your own awakening state. Maybe you go through A lot of people would like to just disconnect from all this human stuff. You probably know this. Well, the routine of being human. You rather just have it all work itself out where you can focus on other things. You have to focus on cleaning or getting your hair cut, anything like that. You can focus on your mission. But that's the whole idea. You are here to be a human, go through all of this, and eventually the earth will evolve out of that, or just be a being of energy. But some of you that show up as energy, like some of you might show up as energy to your average third dimensional person, where they see you as differently. Like I just said, wow, I just saw you as a ball of light. I must have gone crazy or something like that. So it's just little pieces that you bring into your environment. So as for the MK Ultra, Delta Force obviously doesn't even want that word Delta Force being spoken. They don't want anyone to know they exist. Yes, there might be movies about them, but that's they have to tell the world about themselves somehow, even if people don't pay attention. So yeah, you can say now's the time to pay more attention. Some of you have in the past, especially when it comes with. I'll just leave it at that. It don't have to be constant, but for some of you, you might notice certain things where you would not have in the past. So this is another reset that's coming through of basically awareness of what's happening around you. As a feline race, we can't interfere. Obviously, we are usually around the moon. Where we are really doesn't matter. We can't interfere with reality here. Um, Not yet, at least. Not until we're fully more understood, like when feline beings are understood. As a feline race, we obviously did not get along with humans in their past. Now, we help the human evolution here in this universe or this galaxy for that matter. But the human's always been around in some form. Not as a monkey person, actually as a human. There are some of the Ethereals, but there's also human. The human is the most important one, as some of you might notice. Okay, we must be going out. Blessings. Blessings.